The first cycle of this, we were unprepared. And in your 20s, how are you going to be prepared for a government been doing something? So when I was in South America, I set all of this stuff up, and then I'm going to present this to the court. That number one, y'all set me up in 1971, and that's a setup. And then I had to leave the country and do what I'm doing to prove that I'm honest John and what have you. And all my witnesses are mostly drug dealers and all that stuff. So they going along with it, but they don't really want to do it. So by the time I go to the county jail and I turn myself in, I walk up to the jail and I said, I'm so and so and I have a warrant. And the police typed in, then he pulled out his gun and he said, put your hands up, and then they called the FBI. The FBI came and I had my money there and I had a card. Believe it or not, the card I had, what's the attorney that did the O.J. Simpson thing? The Negro attorney. I actually got his card. It's an old one. But anyway, I had his card and another one from up my way, or down that way, Herman English. So anyway, I went on in the jail and I had $25,000, and then finally because I was going to hire me an attorney. That don't sound like much now, but at that time, that was a lot of money. Cash money. So then when I get my slip, it says he had $5,000. And then they took that. So I had a friend. I got all the paperwork for that. Brought me. I said, "Man, bring me some more money." He brought me 10,000. Put it on the books. Then I got something in the mail up there saying that you owe the government $10,000. From the state. So they took that. I said, "Well, that's it." I said, "I'm not going to do that anymore." Anyway, after a period of time, they unraveled the case. If you wonder where the patience and the longevity and the ability to put up with stuff over and over and over and over again comes from, it's because of that. That I said, next time around, we're going to have redundancy in so much, we're going to redundorate your behind, and we're going to do stuff so many times that I could flip a coin and snatch the stuff out of the air. I don't have to look for it. I don't have to go. Everybody knows it. All the DVD, CDs, first of all, cassettes, then CDs, then DVDs. They're all over. Now, Bossman, and he's been able to, he thinks, slow them down and corral them. That's not true. Because we've been thinking all the time. So Bossman don't know where all of them are. And the stuff is so redundant. And I'm saying anybody that has even one of these CDs, even one of these DVDs, hold on to it. If you got 10 or 20, you bargain with Bossman. If you got 20, say I was able to hustle up 5, Bossman, and I'll give them to you for $1 million. Something like that. I'm telling you what to do. If you don't do it, you're a dummy. Because to you, they're not worth nothing, a nigga just talking. But the Bossman, it fits into a certain thing. Now, you got 20 of them. You said, Bossman, I found another 5. Good God Almighty. And you bargain with him for those. And before you turn them over, you've got, of course, you don't copy them all. You don't copy them all. You copy these niggas? Oh, no, boss man, I wouldn't do that. This is the original thing. Okay, I'm just telling you how to get rich. Because, see, the snitches and the collaborators are poor and daily niggas. I'm telling you how to get rich off just being around. And when you finish hearing, you'll say, the nigga is right. So, as we move along, in 3300, actually they got another one that's even crazier. It's the crazy house in LA County Jail. They got, or what they was calling at that time, the new county. The picture you see on the badge that they have from LA, that spiral building, that's the old county jail from way back when. Then they got a new county jail that takes about 7,000 people. But then now that's the semi-new, and they got a new one that has at least 10,000 people. So remember, the LA County Jail takes care of all of Los Angeles County. They got a lot of folks going to jail out there. Okay, so they had me in that, not the old county, the building you see on the badge and you see on TV all the time popping up. That's the old county, what we call in the old county. Then they had the new county. Now, when I say new counties, I'm talking about the early 70s. And now probably 10 times. It's probably 1 million people in jail in LA County. You know, the whole county, the city of Los Angeles is 457 square miles. So LA County is like a country. No, you go from Big Bear up in the mountains where it's snow to the desert in Los Angeles County. Yeah, LA County. You go from the desert to the mountains. Okay. I'm going to try to speed it up. So when I was in 3300, I got all this case together and I done put it together. But they put me in the psycho part, you know, where it's doo-doo all on the walls and it's filthy, you know. And so I'm laying there on the floor. There's nothing else to do, laying there on the floor. I'm looking up, and then the white man with a trainee comes by with a white coat and a clipboard. And he's telling, this one here has cycles, talking about me. And I'm looking at that. And then, so they actually believe that now, if they take me out of the psycho ward and I go and tell the white folks that the big criminal system is a big criminal system, and then I'm fighting my own case because I don't trust lawyers anymore. But they give me a little side lawyer just to handle, you know, public defender. So I tell him the story. I said, so what do you think about that? He says, seems like you have a real lively imagination. In other words, he don't believe it. Collins was his name. Yeah, anyway, you don't believe it. But he's a federal public defender and he been told about me, so he's not going to believe it. He ain't supposed to believe it. That's his job, to listen to them, not to me. But anyway, to make a long story short, I look at everything that's set up. I look at my witnesses. They didn't pull them apart and told all of them, well, if you go to trial for Big Hank and tell that story, you'll never work again. You want to deal dope for the rest of your life? Well, you won't be dealing no dope. You're going to be poor. And if you sell one matchbox of marijuana, you go into the penitentiary. And they know the government can do that because there's snitches everywhere. Anyway, so all of my witnesses easing away. and they busy. I got one of the letters from the white boy. What did I do? I had him. He was in the penitentiary. But you have to realize they have white boys and Negroes that are snitches, that it's their job to go to jail and do all of that, and that helps their reputation. So at this time, he was in Soledad. So his wife at that time, what does it says, Mary's mom, her, and her husband Richard went to the autopsy down south, or it was in Marysville, when Hank's wife, da 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 da. This is the guy, Hank, not me, Hank, but the white man, the one that was taking me down to Mexico, the one that set me up. Here's what they say in this letter, that Hank has died. And the way the feds is presenting it to me is he died in Mexico. And it just so happens you was down there at that period. And what we'll do is we'll blame his death on you. We'll do whatever we can with the government. And you know they have the ability. Finally, he said, tell you what, you haven't been too bad of a guy. You just gone to the penitentiary and looked the other way. And instead of 25 or 50 years like you deserve, I don't deserve no time. I didn't start this, they did. But they have you thinking that, you know, you started dealing dope. Anyway, so basically it was, I just went into court and just silent and let Uncle Tom talk. And went on off to the penitentiary with a 5-year sentence, which I only did 38 months or something. You know, and everybody else did do like 25, 30 years. They was doing time, boy. And so technically, for all of this stuff and all of this life and all of this learning, I just had a little time to rest. And when I came home as a Muslim, right? And I went back for a while. But when I came out that time, I was an Imam. And they threw a little something on the thing, and I came out, I was a better Imam. But I mean, when I'm going back now, I'm going back for a few months, you know, stuff like that. Not no long time. All of this is preparation. It reminds us of the ayat where it says in the Quran that I had my hand on you all along. You know, talking about Musa. Man, I had you covered all along. And then relate the stuff that got thrown in the water, this, that, and other, came up and got hooked up with your mama again. What do you want? You know. And to me, that is the same basic story, except it's in modern times. So this thing about tafweed and ridha, tafweed is like right now, I'm putting my whole trust in Allah on everything. Number one, when are you going to execute all of this stuff? You got all this stuff? Well, bam. Just the other day, the dentist is the key. The dentist is the key. Because I know when I say that I'm going to demonstrate in front of the dentist's office, they got to do something in a hurry. They got to. Because they don't want me out in front of the dentist's office talking. I know them better than they know me. This stuff been going on too long. It's redundancy. I already know what you know what I mean? I'm not saying Allah knows what people are going to do. But I have it on superior authority from repetitious behavior, that if you present them with certain things, they're going to do that. And that's what all of these decades, this thing here, like I said, this is 15 years old. How to punk the FBI. I knew what they was going to do then, and we have a pretty good idea what they're going to do right now. Because this is a different time. This is a different time because we don't have, I don't imagine that there's enough time left to be redundant. I can't learn much more from this redundancy stuff. And just like I always like